The billion-dollar lie, inside the Theranos fraud, and the psychology of Elizabeth Holmes. They say the most dangerous lie is the one wrapped in hope. And for a moment, the world truly believed a miracle was on the horizon. A small, mysterious company in Silicon Valley promised to change the world of medicine forever. A young woman, barely in her 20s, stood on stage and spoke with a calm, unshakable confidence. She said that a single drop of blood could diagnose hundreds of diseases. Doctors listened, investors lined up, America trusted her. And then, everything fell apart. This is the story of Theranos, a lie worth billions, and the psychology of the woman who built it, Elizabeth Holmes. It is a story of power, fear, ambition, and manipulation, and of how far one person will go to protect a dream that never existed. Stay until the end, because the deeper we go, the darker this story becomes. Elizabeth Holmes was not born into a powerful empire, but she desperately wanted one. From a young age, she admired innovators like Steve Jobs. She studied their every move. She copied their style. She dreamed of leaving a mark so massive the world could never forget her name. At 19, she dropped out of Stanford University, not because she was failing, but because she believed she had something far more important to do. She said she had an idea. A revolutionary medical device that could run hundreds of blood tests using just a single finger prick. No needles, no painful vials, no waiting days for results. It sounded perfect. Too perfect. But perfect stories attract powerful people. Holmes convinced professors, doctors, and early investors with her steady voice and almost hypnotic calm. Slowly, one by one, people began to believe her. High-profile investors like Tim Draper backed her. Former cabinet members joined her board. Retired generals trusted her judgment. It didn't matter that she was young, inexperienced, or untested. What mattered was the story she told. And her story was unstoppable. Within a few years, Theranos became one of the fastest-growing companies in Silicon Valley. Its estimated value skyrocketed past $1 billion, then $5 billion, then $9 billion. Elizabeth Holmes became the youngest self-made female billionaire in America. Magazines put her on their covers. She wore black turtlenecks, spoke in a calm baritone, and walked with measured confidence. People compared her to Steve Jobs. Some called her a genius. Others called her the future of medicine. Holmes built a fortress around Theranos, a dark, secretive environment where employees signed strict NDAs and security teams monitored every hallway. The company claimed its Edison machines could run hundreds of tests instantly, but no one was allowed to look inside. Not doctors, not outside engineers, not even board members. Whenever doubt surfaced, Holmes repeated the same line: "We are changing the world." And for a while, that was enough to quiet the questions, keep the money flowing, and protect the dream. But beneath the dream, something was rotting. And that rot was about to surface. Inside Theranos, employees were growing anxious. The Edison machine didn't work. It wasn't even close. It could only run a few tests, and even those were often wrong. Wildly inaccurate. Dangerously inaccurate. So Theranos did something alarming. They secretly used traditional blood testing machines, the same ones used in hospitals, and pretended the results came from their own device. Patients never knew. Doctors never knew. Investors never knew. From the outside, everything still appeared perfect. But inside, the truth was disintegrating. When people questioned Holmes, she shut them down. When employees raised concerns, they were fired. One engineer described the workplace as a culture of fear. Another called it a house of cards. But Holmes didn't slow down. She pushed harder, faster, bigger. In 2013, Theranos partnered with Walgreens. Blood testing centers appeared in stores across America. Thousands of patients trusted results from a machine that didn't actually work. Some were told they had cancer. Some were told they were pregnant when they weren't. Others received dangerous medical advice based on faulty readings. Every false test result was another crack in the collapsing empire. But Holmes pressed on, even as the foundation beneath her began to crumble. And then one piece of journalism began to unravel everything. In 2015, John Carreyrou, a reporter from the Wall Street Journal, began investigating Theranos. He heard whispers, stories from former employees, rumors of secrecy, threats, and a device that simply didn't work. Holmes tried to stop him. She called lawyers. She pressured sources. She insisted everything was under control. But the truth was too heavy to hide. In October 2015, the first expose was published, and it was explosive. It revealed that Theranos was using traditional machines. It exposed inaccuracies, lies, manipulation, and danger to patients. And suddenly, the world shifted. Regulators opened investigations. Doctors demanded answers. Investors panicked. Walgreens pulled the plug. Holmes denied everything. She claimed the article was a hit job and accused Carreyrou of attacking innovation. But the truth kept spilling out. Employees stepped forward. Documents leaked. Internal reports surfaced. What Holmes built over 10 years collapsed in less than 10 months. By 2016, Theranos was banned from running blood tests. By 2018, the company was dissolved. And Holmes was charged with massive fraud. The billion-dollar dream was officially dead. Yet one question remained. Why? Why did she keep lying? Why couldn't she stop? What was happening inside her mind? To understand Holmes, we must understand the psychology of deception. Elizabeth Holmes didn't just create a machine, she created a persona. A persona built on confidence, certainty, and silence. A persona designed to make people trust her even when nothing she said could be proven. Psychologists studying the case found several patterns. 1. The Messiah complex. Holmes believed she was destined for greatness. Not because she had proof, but because she needed it to be true. 2. The illusion of control. She believed technology would eventually catch up to her promises if she just pushed hard enough. 3. Confirmation bias. She ignored facts that contradicted her dream and surrounded herself with people who wouldn't challenge her. 4. Fear of failure. Holmes wanted to change the world. In her mind, failure wasn't an option. So she lied, then lied again, and then lied even more to protect the first lie. 5. The Silicon Valley effect. In a culture where fake it till you make it is celebrated, Holmes pushed the idea to a deadly extreme. In tech, exaggeration is common. But in medicine, a lie can kill. Holmes crossed a line she could never undo. And in the end, her story became far bigger than she ever imagined. In 2022, Elizabeth Holmes was sentenced to over 11 years in federal prison for fraud and conspiracy. Investors lost hundreds of millions. Patients were misled. Employees were threatened. A decade of deception burned to ash. Theranos is gone. Its buildings empty. Its machines silent. Its promises forgotten. But the story remains, because Theranos isn't just a company that lied. It is a warning. A warning about belief without evidence. A warning about charisma without truth. A warning about ambition without ethics. A warning about how easily people can be manipulated when the dream is beautiful enough. Holmes didn't just fool investors. She fooled doctors, politicians, journalists, and millions of ordinary people who simply wanted to believe in something better. The Theranos scandal is not just corporate fraud. It is a psychological lesson, a mirror held up to modern society. It's a reminder that the most dangerous lies are the ones we most want to believe. And in the shadows of Silicon Valley, where dreams grow fast and money grows even faster, there will always be another story like this one. Another empire. Another deception. Another catastrophic fall. Because in a world built on ambition, truth is often the first casualty. If you want more stories about the rise and fall of powerful empires and the psychology hidden behind them, subscribe. More stories are coming, much darker ones, and some are still happening right now.